If Saiyans had Frieza's potential, they would be overpowered. First of all, they wouldn't be ruled over by Frieza, and second of all, they would be the most powerful mortal race in the Dragon Ball universe. They would be so powerful that bears took notice and ended most of their population, and only a few people of the Saiyan race would survive. And Beerus would take all of them to his world to train, and so that when he wakes up in a few decades or so, that they would be a worthy opponent. The Saiyans that are Beerus on Beast's planet are Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa, and Broly. They will train for years on end to become stronger and faster and more enlightened and in tune with their emotions thanks to Whis. Then one day, Frieza, Cooler, and King Cold will start to cause some problems in the universe, and the Saiyans will go out to stop them. But the Arcosian family have been training for this, knowing how strong the Saiyans are/were, and they will try to fight the Saiyans in their final forms, but they was be still heavily outmatched. But then they stepped it up a notch and transformed into their golden forms. But even Nappa, who wasn't has as good as gains as before because he was leaving his prime, was handling them pretty easily in his Super Saiyan God form. But then Frieza would kick it up a notch to his Black Frieza form, and some of the Saiyans started to struggle, but the Saiyans took them out easily and won out with their lives. Later on, Boo would show up on the world and the Supreme Kai would warn them about Boo, but the Saiyans would just teleport to where Boo was being held. They would one-shot all the enemies on the floors, including Deborah, but their energy he would be displaying would be more than enough to free Majin Buu. Majin Buu would be easily outmatched and would try to absorb one of the Saiyans, which was Raditz, and Majin Buu started to win. But as soon as the Saiyans stepped it up a notch, they got a way to go inside of Boo and got Raditz out as soon and eradicated Boo. Then, after 4 years, Beerus would finally wake up to challenge the Super Saiyan God, and he would fight every single one of the Saiyans. And then he fought Broly, which gave Beerus the hardest challenge and would actually defeat Beerus. And now Broly was a destroyer in training. And later on, more would come along. In the first time, all the Saiyans except Broly were defeated. Then Broly and Moro started to fight. Moro was having trouble with Broly because of his endless energy supply. But when Broly was backed into a corner, he would use his destroyer powers and bully Moro into a corner and finally erase him off the face of the universe. And that's what would happen if the Saiyans had Frieza's potential.